So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So that's got things underway. Fabio Cannavaro, Jim. Some people credit him with making defending fashionable again.
I didn't know it had gone out of fashion, Peter, but yeah, his exploits certainly led to the guys at the back getting...
Oh, shooting chance! Goal! An extraordinary start. Breakthrough in next to no time.
Well, talking about stepping things up from the off, that's how you start a football match.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. Cross deflected behind for a corner. And we have our very first corner. Hakimi attempts a clearance. And now a sudden chance to counter. Tries to pass it through. Space for him to turn and look.
Oh, how that cross missed everyone is an absolute mystery to me. It warranted a finishing touch.
First quarter of an hour gone. Rummenigge. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Well read, nice interception. Milan are behind here, despite their domination of possession. Pass is just off target. That's going to go a long way. Xavi Alonso, always wanting the ball, always wanting to do something different with it. And it's Bellingham. Now, can they get him away?
Milan are really in a position where patience and prudence will serve them best. Time's on their side.
Van Dijk calmly anticipates. Looking for a runner. And he's intervened well there. Conte. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Batistuta gets flagged offside. Looking for options for movement. Oh, that's fabulous. That is great defending, so alert. And that's a simple one for the keeper. Milan are looking to go forward now. Lam is always looking to play quality balls. Ronaldinho. Great ball, and he's in here. Well, now it's a race for the ball. Deftly away. Ronaldinho. He has found the way through. Ronaldinho!
Added minutes has been indicated.
And the whistle goes for half-time. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here. Milan trailing by the tightest of margins at half-time.
Well, for me, Peter, things have never really got going, but at least this will be a good time to reflect and regroup. I can see a few changes coming, because whatever they've been doing, it just hasn't gelled.
Well, that is the first half done, and we are ready for what follows in the second. And hostilities have resumed at the start of the second half.
Milan really need to bring up their intensity and rhythm a notch or two, Peter. Just looked a step too slow on everything.
Now it's Cruyff. That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. He's found a way through. Abbiati gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press as high as they can and get in the right position to do that collectively.
Batistuta, he's shifting through the gears here. Cannavaro did well to stay calm there. Rummenigge looking to shake off some unwanted attention.
Yeah, and what they've got to realise, Peter, is that they won't get away with excessive force for long, so they're running a fine line now.
Good defending there, they've slammed the door in the faces of the opposition. And he's managed to get free. Your impression so far, Jim?
Milan are very much in the game and matching the opposition for chances.
No question, this is the man you want to get on to the end of things.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Van Dijk cuts out the pass. Lahm. Rijkaard. Now it's Cruyff. Batistuta! And that's a good finish. Right back in it. Almost no time remaining. Game still on. You don't keep those outs. He knew. He just knew.
Well, it's one of those, Peter, when you've got to take your hat off and just say, too good.
Milan restore parity.
Well, I'd happily watch this every week, Peter. This is exactly what you want from a big game.
Oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him. Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Now it's Doku. Plays a sharp little ball here. Still anyone's game this. One moment can decide it.
It's a very open game and an exciting watch. There are no signs of nerves or caginess from either team. This pitch is go-for-it territory right now.
Two added minutes has been indicated.
And he's quick to snatch it back. Batistuta touches it back.
Well, he just didn't have any support.
They huffed and they puffed, but that will be that. A draw, and a highly unpredictable one. Fair share of momentum shifts, highly entertaining until the very end. Batistuta. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. And that gets things running.
In a system like this, Peter, the winger-fullback combinations can be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and no doubt you can expand on that for us, Jim.
Well, there's just so many potential options and movements. Overlapping, underlapping, wingers vacating spaces to be occupied by...
Goal!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
A truly wonderful strike, decorated with dip and curl.
Oh, it was a real beauty, Peter, and while many might have just lashed out at it, he took his time and he put it where very few can.
So the game's first significant... Eto! And the keeper couldn't hold it.
Portugal definitely are on top of things in these early stages, Peter. If this is how they intend to go on, I think the opposition might see some trouble.
Van Dijk gets over and intercepts.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Nicely weighted ball. He's got plenty of space out wide here. Lahm is very much the model of the modern-day fullback. Oh, good-looking ball. Batistuta charging forward, the ball... It's Ronaldinho! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Milan with the corner, they're first. Oh, great leap! Not a bad try by any means.
Batistuta is clearly kicking himself here. He knew that was a great opportunity.
Nicked it back promptly. Cruyff. Now that looks a decent ball. And a chance! Deftly away. He'll try from distance. It's loose now. Oh, he's been caught. In he goes again! And that's a tidy finish. They have done it! They have their equaliser!
Well, I always thought they had it in them, Peter. They upped the quality as needed, and once they got going, they were awfully hard to stop.
That is a fine goal, really efficiently done.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball. Made a classic move and met it perfectly.
Milan restore parity.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter, when you've got two strong teams of...
He's having a pop! Now, who's going to be first to... Oh, what has happened here? Lahm delivers. They've won a corner. Corner number 2, then. Thuram gets it away. Portugal are looking to go forward now. Seedorf never out of the action for very long. That'll be a throw. Well, good play on the left-hand side here. Oh, that's fabulous. Looking for the far post.
Two added minutes has been indicated.
Ronaldinho. And he cuts out the supply. And the referee has signalled for half-time. So it's all squared. Neither side has been able to make a telling difference, but it hasn't been for the lack of trying. So your views on the first half?
Well, both sides would have expected a closely fought match, and that's pretty much what we've got so far. The early exchanges, I think, in this second half will be worth keeping an eye on to see if any adjustments have been made to change things.
Well, they've gone toe-to-toe for those 45 minutes, and at half-time the score is 1-1.
Substitutions taking place.
And that's the second half started.
Milan are probably feeling relatively good about themselves, so I don't think the manager has seen anything to change in his half-time team talk.
And this is great chance! And that's really well manoeuvred. Zanetti. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Pele will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Milan come out of the tunnel having undergone a change at half-time.
Well, we're certainly going to see a change in personnel. We'll see if the system changes with it.
Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
And that's a good ball. Hazard unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. And this is Raul. Lam is one whose deliveries we all know about. Portugal are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to...
Hazard, he's through on goal here, and the shot! Goal! Portugal! And they're back in front! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up shipping a goal at the other, and it's all due to wonderful counter-attacking. They hardly had time to even react, and there's only one word to describe that: clinical.
Substitution for Portugal. Number 10, Seedorf.
Well, the two coaches are signalling changes here, both at the same time.
Number 24,
Portugal leading now.
Number 7, Pele.
Milan perhaps contemplating their next change here.
Frank Lampard.
Rijkaard running with intent.
Nedved.
It's skewed away. It's a lovely, neat pass.
Number 8,
Rijkaard was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Shot a goal! He is desperate to get on the score sheet, but not this time.
Oh, they're just unrelenting, Peter. Wave after wave of attacks. Now it's just a matter of making at least one of them count. That's just playing it safe and simple.
The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Searching pass he's played there. Oh, that's well spotted. Luis Suarez! It's loose, and there's a race for the ball.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Now that's well seen too.
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
It's Nedved! Nedved! A diamond of a goal! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! And surely that does it! Perfect time, decisive strike! Unstoppable. Just how do they contain him?
Well, at one stage he was being body checked, Peter, and then the next minute it's in the back of the net. That's wonderful.
David Villa! He's beaten the keeper. And with that, the end. In the end then, no joy. Not for the want of trying, not for the want of running. Simply they were beaten by a better team on the day. Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. And that gets things running. So, Jim, tell me this, who are you looking for in particular here?
Yeah, Kylian Mbappe. There's nothing more frightening for a defender when he's running at you at full speed. He gets into a stride so quickly and seems to just glide across the turf. But when the goal's in front of him, he's also got that cool head that's required to pick a spot and finish everything off.
I think the opposition defence agree too. He's going to be the source of so many of their headaches.
Cruyff clearly held on to it far too long there. Did he do enough to find someone? He looked as if he had his mind set on trying to do everything his way.
Cannavaro cuts it out. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. Oh, that's well spotted. Tries to play it through. No, that's been intercepted.
Yeah, we're actually currently watching a contest of insipid probing. The only way is up, I hope.
And he's whipped and getting up there! Well, that is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
I thought the wing work was A1. The defending and finishing was anything but.
Ronaldinho. Mbappe is sporting a guilty look after that.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
Well, that has not gone well. Great vision. A quick look, thought about cutting inside. Conte. Ambitious ball here. Well read, and the danger is averted. That's going to go a long way. Ronaldinho looking to be a menace in the final third. Puyol calmly anticipates. And he thumps it clear. Cruyff. He's had it taken off him. Maradona. Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. And he's forced to go back. Lahm makes a move down the right. Now, can they get him away? Mbappe could move up a gear here. And he's intervened well there. So, a temporary halt to the action. Well, it was a half of could-haves and should-haves, but as the whistle blows, we remain where we started. Plenty for both managers to mull over here.
And now,
How's the first half compared with your expectation?
Solid, very solid, actually, Peter. They haven't made much of an impression at the other end, but defensively I think they've got an awful lot right, completely nullifying their opponents. Now they just need to focus on getting a little more creative.
So, both teams still stuck on the starting blocks here, 0-0 at the break. And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here.
Milan have been the team that have had the lion's share of possession and chances. Okay, they haven't got much to show for it, but I think it's a case of keep going and eventually you'll get your break.
Ibrahimovic. Oh, he's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Bangladesh can breathe again, just.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store. It's a decent chance to counter-attack.
And it's Ibrahimovic. And into the grateful arms of the keeper. Cruyff looking to shake off some unwanted attention.
Yeah, better communication and lots of contact seems to be the route to quietening him down now.
Messi makes a dash for it. Very little to report from an attacking perspective. Jim, it's a cagey old game.
Well, I think both teams can help themselves massively with better movement up front, Peter. There's just not enough happening at the moment. And essentially, their job is to find space, and that needs to start happening.
He's got plenty of space out wide here. He's found a way through. Ronaldinho plays it in. Milan with the corner, they're first. Puyol, corner number 2 then. Oh, good climb! No, just not quite.
That is a really good chance missed, Peter. Certainly the way he's been playing.
Maradona. That's a shade optimistic.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
It's Ibrahimovic! And that's in! Finally, the deadlock is broken!
What a time to take the lead. But now comes the dilemma of whether you want to hold on or go for it again and try and extend your advantage. That's always been the harder option, in my experience.
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
Substitution on the field. Number 26.
Well, the
Davids.
two coaches are
Number
signalling
8,
changes here, both at the same time.
Number
Bangladesh
10,
have
Messi.
broken through. It's
Number
1-0.
80,
Listen, when it comes to goals,
Ronaldinho.
Peter, in this team,
Number
he's
18,
always the #1 contender.
Tries one from range.
Coming on the field.
And
Number
that could
3,
come back to haunt them.
Yeah, you always felt that they were going to up the tempo after going behind. It's not like they have any other option now.
Number 17.
Nicely weighted ball.
Number
That looks a
13,
cracking ball.
Erling Haaland. Substitution in progress.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Costa Curta spots it
2
and
minutes
intercepts.
has been indicated.
And they've got rid. Stood up well to him there. Ronaldinho. Well seen. And that is it. A real high-octane conclusion. Well, that was tense. The two parties separated by the game's only really meaningful moment. Intriguing for the neutrals, unbearable sometimes. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. And we're underway.
Any attack containing Raul is a frightening sight for any defence.
His record's a frightening sight.
Well, when you think about it, most of his...
Joe! Terrific save by Abbiati! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Chelsea with the corner, they're first. Decent attempt, but not quite good enough.
I think it's a very fair effort, Peter, considering he didn't have much in the way of space to play with.
It's their second corner of the game. And now a sudden chance to counter. He's having a pop! He's done very well to get to that.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Corner number 3 coming up. Oh, what? Tries a shot! There it is! And there is your opener. Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. And that's a foul. A simple decision for the referee. Well, it's not taken him long, and that's going to be a booking. Rummenigge. Opts for safety. Knocks it into space. Milan are behind here, despite their domination of possession. McAllister. So what can they make of this? And it's Neymar. Neymar charging forward, the ball at his feet. It's Neymar!
Milan are really in a position where patience and prudence will serve them best. Time's on their side.
Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. And here's Dani Olmo.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Costa Curta. Conte. And no, that was never going to make it. Neymar running with the ball. And it's Neymar. Neymar! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Dani Olmo receives it in a wide position. And this is Neymar. Oh, well played. Batistuta. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger.
Diouf really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Oh, it's come loose. Neymar. It's Neymar! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Takes a shot. A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
Well, talking about creating a problem for yourself, OK, credit to good pressing, but that was entirely avoidable.
And that's been won straight back. That's the end of the first 45. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff.
Just a quick
Milan
today.
go in
Please
at
refrain
half-time
from
with
parking
a
outside
game to
this
chase.
stadium. Thank you very much for
It's
your
been a
cooperation.
pretty tepid display. They'll want to use this break wisely to regroup and come out with some fresh initiatives. This is all still very salvageable, maybe even winnable.
So that's it for the first half, and everyone takes a well-earned rest. Back on the way then.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Applies the finish! Oh, he's hit the bar! And yes, it's there! And look what it means to them. This is a position of genuine strength now. Dani Olmo duly reaps his reward, kept his cool whilst the defence lost their bearings.
That's really good anticipation too, Peter. Just instinctively knew where the ball would be and where he needed to put himself.
Chelsea are now luxuriating in a two-goal lead.
You can really sense how important this goal was for them. They needed it, now they have it.
That's a lovely, neat pass. Tries to play it through. And this is Cruyff. Now the delivery. Czech deals with that, nice and simple. Cruyff. Batistuta is being harried and hassled.
Yeah, better communication and lots of contact seems to be the route to quietening him down now.
Batistuta. Oh, that's wonderful alertness. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Batistuta going after that. And here's Neymar. Neymar! Now that has posed a few awkward questions.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he tried one of his specials.
Lahm. Just about up to 75 minutes. Rudiger. Oh, that's a foul in a dangerous area. It's a straight red. He has been given his marching orders. Well, this is worrying. He is not the sort of player who tends to stay down. Well, there may be some scope for debate over the seriousness of the offence, but none over its repercussions. They'll have to see out the rest of the game with 10 men. This looks like a more than decent chance to strike. Oh, smart save. He had plenty to do.
Well, I thought his starting position was good, and that helped the keeper to judge the flight of the ball and deal with it well.
Now it's Raul. Conte. Passing is crisp and sharp. Now this could be a chance. It's Ronaldinho! And how did he not put that away?
Oh, that miss could really prove costly. They don't want to be missing too many of those. Milan are certainly now looking like a sorry lot. They haven't got a proper defence or attack, for that matter.
Just 5 minutes left. And this is Batistuta. And here's Ronaldinho. He is just caressing the ball. And that has left him in a heap. Foul and a free kick in a very dangerous area. And he's going to have his name taken. Players have gathered round and they are clearly concerned.
Well, not the best way to deal with it, but the old threat of pace clearly made him feel a tad uncomfortable.
Great chance here from position A1. So the perfect chance to get one back. Cruyff! Decent hit from there.
There will be 3 minutes added time.
Kante makes the interception. That's a sharp pass. Great vision. He is through here. Neymar! Just cruising. They are cruising. Up by 3. They have their... Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Milan suffer a humiliating defeat, and if that weren't painful enough... Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. Well, we're on the way. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Conte. And here's Cruyff. And this is Batistuta! It's bounced back off the post. Rijkaard is there, and he can pick it up. Bellingham. Zanetti. Pele looking to receive it in space. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Oh, easy pickings there. Bellingham. And it's Del Piero. Great vision. And he's only too happy to take that back. And here's Del Piero. Ronaldinho, the specialist in tearing teams apart. Milan have had plenty of possession, but few, if any, genuine chances. Bellingham. Pele. Messi. Now it's Del Piero. Del Piero. Shapes to shoot! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Zanetti crosses. And that has earned a reprieve for the time being. He's on it. Can he get away? Played towards the front line. Great defending, strong and determined. Now, what about a counter-attack? And it's made its way to him. Alarm. Oh, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. Cross into the box.
There's much frustration as to the lack of a touch to finish that off. Madrid really look like a team that's set up to absorb pressure. They don't mind being on the back foot.
He's having a hit! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Conte actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
And we have our very first corner. And it's hoisted clear. And now they can spring out of defence. And this is Pele! Pele!
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Just eases him off the ball. 40 minutes gone. Half-time closing in. Dealt with nicely by the defence. Bellingham conjures time and space where few can. Del Piero. Chance! They've scored!
I think this is a very welcome time for a goal, Peter. There was a momentary drop-off into defence, and he was just too good a player to miss that. A special talent has given us all a very special memory.
And the referee says that is that for the first half. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead and that gives them something to build on after the break. Milan trailing by the tightest of margins at half-time.
Well, obviously things are not good, Peter. It seems the team were just a bit too busy playing within themselves, too tentative. They have to improve and make it fast.
So that's it for the first half, and everyone takes a well-earned rest. So straight into the second half.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
And Batistuta! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Batistuta is offering a wry smile there.
Milan have their second corner now. That'll be a throw-in. Still chasing the game, trailing by one. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Cruyff. Bellingham. Rummenigge is being harried and hassled.
Yeah, better communication and lots of contact seems to be the route to quietening him down now.
Opts for safety, engages and forces him off the ball.
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
This is a promising build-up. Your impression so far, Jim?
We've not seen much from this team as a whole, Peter. OK, that's largely due to the way their opponents have approached it, but they can up their game considerably, and I mean considerably. That's just playing it safe and simple.
Substitution on the field. Number 9, Pele. Number 45, Osimhen.
Rijkaard is
Number
always
11,
scanning the pitch for
Del
targets.
Piero. Number 10, Messi.
And
Number
he's intervened well there.
Bellingham.
Milan still have the cards to affect this game.
22, Batistuta.
Almost
Number
75 minutes on the
13,
clock now.
Ibrahimovic. Number 7,
And it's been hooked away.
Number 14,
Throw in.
McManaman. Number 19, Panes.
Works it
Substitution.
forward. And again, they run up against stubborn defending.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Great ball if he can get there. And that's a simple one for the keeper. Now looking to orchestrate a counter. Can he get it through? The final moments of a game that has been pretty compelling overall.
Yeah, it's not looking good, Peter. Never say never, though. Milan really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
Belletti. McManaman. That is good alertness.
Has been indicated.
Ronaldinho. Into stoppage time, very little left on it. And that's it. Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour, effort, at times effervescence, but just one goal to show for all of that.
I'd like to draw
How would
your
you summarise
attention to
what
the
we've
screen
seen today
right
then,
now
Jim?
for
I
information
think it's
on
one
your
of these
shuttle bus
games where
service.
both have plenty to think about. I don't think it was by design.
Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. If you have just joined, you have just missed the kickoff.
Javier Zanetti will be having a very busy game for sure, Peter. He'll be raiding the flanks all game long if he's allowed to, of course.
It's Son Heung-min! No, just not quite.
Son Heung-min certainly knows that he's missed a real chance there, but he can't dwell on that. He needs to pick himself up and move on.
No, that's been intercepted. Oh, nicely intercepted. Zanetti. Bellingham. And Son Heung-min. It's a good spell of possession, this.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
Well read, nice interception. Mohamed Salah. Great ball if he can get there. And he cuts out the supply. Milan are still to register a shot on target. As a matter of fact, a shot of any type. Šeško. Beckham, the man we've all come to watch. Thinks about the shot.
That's a shame because it was such a good decision.
Beckham. This is a promising build-up. Threads one in, and he's picked it up out wide. Beckham, and that is expertly dealt with. Ronaldinho. Milan are looking to break at pace. Tries to pass it through. Lovely pass, but can he get there? He's had a shot! And needless to say, that deserved better.
That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender, stay onside.
Adams. And it's Ed Nielsen. Bellingham. And this is Mohamed Salah. Batistuta. Bellingham. And it's Beckham. And this is Son. And the shot! Goal! England! England take the lead. The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
The first breakthrough.
Yeah, and just as the manager's been reminding his players, this is the time where they can't afford to let their focus slip.
And this is Cruyff. And the shot! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Rummenigge actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Milan with the corner. They're first. Bullish header! And a neat finish. They're level in a trice.
Yeah, since going a goal down, they've dug in to produce a really fine spell, which for me deserved that equaliser.
A wonderful delivery, and all it needed was a touch.
He did so well there, attacking the ball the way he did. He got a strong forehead behind that one.
2 added minutes has been
It's starting to
indicated.
look very interesting, this.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
And that's the keeper's ball. That's it, 45 minutes up. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. How's the first half compared with your expectation?
Milan really showed some resolve in that first half, Peter, after going behind. So I think the message from the manager will be quite a positive one. Keep going. and keep doing what you've been doing, because it's pretty good.
To replace him is
Well, it's been a tight game, but one that's packed with incident and talking points. A decent watch this, and it's 1-1 at half-time. So straight into the second half. Son Heung-min. Lam is one whose deliveries we all know about. And it's Conte. And this is Batistuta. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
England are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Good defending, albeit from an unexpected source.
He's dealt with that very well, Peter. It's a real show of discipline.
Milan do have options available on the bench if they want to go that way. Conte. Ronaldinho. And he welcomes it in. Zanetti. Bellingham. Great vision. And he's intervened well there. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Aimed at the far side. So will they make it count again?
substitution for Milan. Number 24, Batistuta. Number 18, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Number 15, Ronaldinho. Coming on the field, number 11.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Substitutions taking place.
Cannavaro, and he's opted for the long pass. And it's Pedri. Pedri. Now there's a fine ball. Oh, important interception. That's a sharp pass. This is intriguing. Next goal critical.
Well, a goal either way at this stage would qualify as a steal.
Beckham with the cross. And it's hoisted clear. England have reclaimed it.
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
There will be 1 minute added time.
And here's Messi. Conte. And that's it. So it is something for both, but ideal for neither. Both parties having to settle for what they get and hope for better in the weeks ahead. Rijkaard claiming the Man of the Match award. Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. And we're underway.
We're talking a genuinely stylish player here in Frank Rijkaard. You're not arguing with that, Jim, are you?
No, I've got to totally agree with every word you just said. As holding midfielders go, he is one of the very best. Nothing phases him.
Rijkaard. Now Ronaldinho. Rummenigge. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. And it's Ronaldinho. That's a good ball. Spread to the right. Batistuta was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. That's been cut out, well played. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Now it's Neymar. Now, can they get him away?
Well, it seems as if the message has been issued by both managers. Don't concede the opener.
Aimed beyond the defence. Batistuta! Goal! Milan! And Milan have the lead. Well, it's taken a big deflection, but boy, he will want that one. So we have the first goal.
Yeah, but I think they all know too well that things are far from done here, and while there's never a good time to be caught out, you definitely don't want it to be now.
And he's made sure that's not getting through. Well, there's the clearance. Lam is always looking to play quality balls. He's found a way through. He's had a shot! And he can thump it away. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Ronaldinho. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. And the score is 1-0. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
Neymar. And here's Batistuta, looking for the run. Oh, that was vital. Pinged towards the front line. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. Neymar providing an outlet on that flank. And it's Lam. Some good work on the right flank here. Batistuta. And he shoots! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Oh, what has happened here? Cruyff's cross. Oh, great leap! It's a decent watch, a frantic watch. It is half-time. So the team's still separated by one goal, but it should be very different. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Milan really have looked very good in transitions, so I'll be expecting more of the same in this second half. They just need to remain patient and just wait for that chance to break again.
Milan can look back at a decent first half. 1-0 the score. So straight into the second half. Milan leading courtesy of the game's only goal.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
Cafu, Kvaratskhelia, and this is Van Basten. Played out towards the right wing. Has crossed into the middle. Van Dijk with the clearance. Cruyff.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Plays a sharp little ball here.
Decent chance!
It's loose.
Oh, he's been caught napping.
And he's gone long. Still just a single goal between the sides. And it's Ronaldinho. Botafogo are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
Substitution for Botafogo. Number 21, Kvaratskhelia. Coming on the field is number 23, David Villa.
Looking for options for movement. He slid in, and that has raised the temperature on the touchline.
And Cruyff!
That is produced there the crispest of hits.
I think it was one of those, Peter, where he's caught it too well. He's not even looking at the keeper, so he knew where everything was.
Cafu. Now it's Villa. And this is Neymar.
Botafogo really are going about things in the right fashion, Peter. It's great to see.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Lam. Closing in on the last quarter of an hour. Ronaldinho. Good driving run. David Villa. And it's Van Basten. Rijkaard spots it and intercepts. Cafu. Howson is the team's great visionary. And that's another good win of the ball. Rummenigge. 1-0 as we head towards the end. Cannavaro kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Now that looks a decent ball.
And a shot! He's beat, and it's in!
A two-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. Sharp, simple, satisfying. He just knew what was on.
Listen, he would have been advised to do that as a kid, and it's obviously etched in his mind now.
So is that the decisive goal? Not much in the way of time remaining.
Well, I think if they're going to have any hope from here, they'll need to see the more experienced lads step up to the plate now.
They've played it short, and here's Kante. Fourth official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. Threads one in. And that is that. Milan can take all the spoils, and it is nothing less than what they are perfectly entitled to, following this splendid display of poise, potency and proficiency. Ronaldinho picking up the Man of the Match award, and no surprise there. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. So off we go then. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Well, Peter, it would have to be the highly rated Dean Howson. The perfect blend of total football and tiki-taka. I like the front-footed approach he takes to defending. He's very effective, pushing people back by almost joining in central midfield himself. And, you know, he has a real air of authority about him now as he matures through the game.
Yeah, he'll certainly be leaving his mark on this game, quite possibly, actually. Oh, he's been caught napping! Now it's Cruyff. Lahm. Rijkaard. Gyökeres. He's a sharp little ball here. Rijkaard. And it's Batistuta. Now that looks a decent ball. And he cuts out the supply. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Lahm is one whose deliveries we all know about. Cannavaro deals with that comfortably. That's rather hopeful. Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. Cafu getting this one clear. And he's only too happy to take that back. Now it's Cruyff. He's on it, can he get away? Deftly away. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals. And here's Batistuta. Cruyff. And that's a simple one for the keeper. Rijkaard. Cruyff. Madrid are a team that's fond of the low block. They short a chance!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Knocks it into space. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Shapes to shoot! Goal! Milan! And Milan have the lead. Well, was he ever going to miss that? Of course he wasn't.
Way too good, Peter. Too quick, too smart for that defence, who were made to look a little lost, in all honesty.
You felt it was coming. 1-0.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game.
Back where it came from. Roberto Carlos promptly onto that. And that is the end of the first half. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here. Milan up by 1 goal at the halfway point.
I thought that was a decent 45 minutes of football. Plenty of signs that both managers can take a lot of encouragement from. I would say the mood is neither overly negative nor positive. You still have to approach this like it's 0-0.
Milan can look back at a decent first half. 1-0 the score. The second half is up and running.
Milan definitely want to carry on in a similar manner, although I would exercise some caution, Peter. You wouldn't want to leave yourself open in the early...
Rummenigge! Good try, very good try, in fact. Some resolute defending there. Played into space. Oh, that pass isn't the best. Cafu. Team still separated by the game's only goal. Batistuta. who needs just a moment to score a goal. Milan leading then, courtesy of the goal scored late in the first half here. 1-0 the score.
Rummenigge really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Oh, shooting chance! Has another go! And there's a goal! They are right back in business!
And that comes as a very welcome relief. Now let's see who's got what it takes to seize the initiative from here.
Right place, right time, and a fine instinctive finish.
Such good movement. Some players have that natural ability to be in the right place at the right time. We've just seen the perfect example.
So they have it all to do again.
Well, I'd happily watch this every week, Peter. This is exactly what you want.
And Cruyff!
And he was there to get a vital touch.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Rijkaard is always looking to break lines. Oh, it's played into the area. And it's safely in the keeper's hands.
Substitution on the field. Number 10.
So we have movement on both
Number
benches.
21, Gerd Müller. Number 26, Gerard. Number 9,
Milan perhaps wondering what the best time is for their next substitution. Now it's Pedri, and he's managed to get free.
Number 11, Neymar. Number 25.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Nicely weighted ball, and he welcomes it in. Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Madrid can breathe again, just.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
Tries to play it through. Boyan! That's a fair try, but just off target.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit disappointed with that, Peter. You would have fancied him to at least hit the target.
Neymar is always playing with one eye on the spectacular. Nicely shaped ball. Casillas claims comfortably. Rijkaard. That's that, the end. A good watch, more than a good watch actually, certainly from a sporting perspective. It lacks a winner, of course, but the crowd largely satisfied. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
And if you do
So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. So off we go then. Well, it's not very often that we single out the team's goalkeeper as their most influential player, but I suppose we can make a special exception for this fella, Iker Casillas, Jim.
No doubt about that, Peter. I mean, whether it's through making saves or just through his sheer presence, he has a huge influence on any team he plays in.
Leading from the back, as it were.
Exactly.
Haaland. Conte. Ronaldinho. Thinks one through. Now that looks a decent ball.
Shapes to shoot! He's delivered all right!
Well, talk about a real rude awakening. It's almost as if the defence saw nothing coming. They just didn't anticipate, on heels rather than toes.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
So, a breakthrough already. Good ball. Haaland! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
I'm not sure what happened there, Peter. Did he get caught admiring his own first touch, maybe?
Now it's Batistuta. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho powering forward here. Cruyff charging forward, the ball at his feet.
Madrid always have been a side that are known for pressing, a style that's very high tariff, Peter.
But it can pay off big time, can't it?
Yeah, just about every top side are doing this now.
And he's picked it up out wide. Ronaldinho, the specialist in tearing teams apart. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. Rummenigge.
Real chance! It's a goal! Again, in a trice, and they are soaring!
That really is quite fabulous. All his own doing.
Yeah, that's what the game is all about. Excitement and entertainment. What a lovely moment.
So that's 2 now without reply.
Well, that's a real psychological weight off the shoulders, I think. It's a very different game now at 2 up.
Oh, it's come loose. Alexander-Arnold. Half-time coming up, and little doubt as to which of the two sides is the happier. Abiati breathes a sigh of relief as he gets his hands on the ball. So, what can they make of this? Oh, that's well spotted. Ronaldinho. Haaland. Haaland was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Rijkaard. That's it, 45 minutes up. Some first-half thoughts?
Well, I think things have worked out pretty well so far, Peter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I think the manager has to resist change at this stage.
Milan are heading into the break, very happy with how it's gone so far.
Substitution on the field, number 17, Erling Haaland.
So right back into the action.
Rodrigo.
He's in a great position here.
Matthias Cunha.
Chips it through.
Number 16.
And that was very necessary.
Coming on the field.
Always onto this. Rummenigge. He's through on goal here. He's been side down. Is that a penalty? The referee has given a free kick just outside the box. It's a straight red. He has been given his marching orders. Well, no question, Jim, the referee has seen that as a professional foul.
He really ended up between a rock and a hard place then, Peter. Probably took the harder choice.
Substitution on the field. Number 5, Bellingham. Coming on to replace him.
Ronaldinho with a real chance here. So, a genuine chance to increase the lead. Ronaldinho! Oh, lots on that one, but he couldn't find the target. Costa Curta. And Kvaratskhelia. Nice bit of skill, and he's away. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Played in. Abiati claims it, safe hands.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Stood up well to him there. And it's Cruyff. Played out wide. Lahm drives forward on the overlap. He leaps for it! Yes! It's all becoming so easy. Simple, certain, effective. He just guided it in.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball.
And Batistuta! And that's in. Untouchable, remorseless, relentless. A class of their own.
Whoever is in his path, he will always find a way.
Yeah, he won the jostle, and it was a very good finish, and I think he'll go away feeling pretty good about that one.
Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. So things are underway. Free-flowing, fluid, flexible, just some of the words that describe the genius that is Ruud Gullit, a player whose impact on the game remains so profound, so relevant today.
Yeah, you could almost say he was the very first all-action, all-athletic number 10. All those marauding runs from deep, going box to box, these weren't the sort of things expected from a playmaker back in his day.
Cruyff is onto this. Rummenigge. And into the grateful arms of the keeper. Dixon. Seedorf. Passing is crisp and sharp. Cruyff tries to play it through. He is through here.
Batistuta!
And the keeper couldn't hold it.
Goal! Milan! And Milan have the lead.
Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, Peter, I know from experience there are players who always seem to know where the ball's going to end up. This isn't about luck at all, despite what people say. Just keep an eye on his movement.
Milan have taken the lead.
Well, I'd remind those players, Peter, that concentration will be key for a while now, as you don't want to hand the momentum straight back to your opposition.
Rijkaard promptly onto that, and that is that. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
He's having a shot! And a neat finish. They are purring, truly purring.
Speed of thought, efficiency of movement, and certainty of outcome.
Well, my sympathies go to the keeper, who was left horribly exposed. You don't expect players to switch off in front of goal like that.
And the shot!
Well, that looked awkward, but he had a good crack at it.
Yeah, it didn't come off, but still very good quick thinking on his part.
And this is Batistuta. Well, they've got it again. Rijkaard. Gattuso. That's a risky ball, you've got to say. Milan are looking to break at pace. Milan looking forward to the break after some very good work in the first 45 minutes.
Big chance! And it's in!
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
Just one in it now.
Well, what a difference a goal makes. Now all of a sudden it seems the belief is back.
That's an excellent interception.
2 added minutes has been indicated.
And it's Ronaldinho. Thuram.
This is the time you need that pace.
And here's Batistuta. And that is the end of the first half. So, engaging and still right on edge. Plenty of signs to suggest this will turn out to be a really good one. It is quite a game, breathless and laced with excitement.
Well, I think the message from the manager at half-time will be pretty simple, Peter. He's going to want them to play at a higher tempo, press more, higher up the pitch, pass quicker and entice the opposition out of position. He knows how crucial the next goal will be.
And Batistuta!
That is decidedly lacking.
Ah, that's a shame, Peter. Such a great run, but he didn't have that clinical edge.
Plays a sharp little ball here. Now he's off and running. Dixon. Gattuso. And here's Cruyff.
Well, a few of his teammates are quite furious with him as they felt they were within reach, but he made nothing of it. His boss doesn't look too amused either.
There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Ronaldinho will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Rijkaard. Ronaldinho. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. And he's managed to get... Oh no, this does not look good. Tries one from range. It's run loose. Who's going to get there?
Substitution for Milan, number 18.
Argentina with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually.
Johan Cruyff, number 24. Batistuta.
And he's there to clear it.
Conte.
Picked out
Number
brilliantly.
15.
Tries a shot!
Coutinho. Coming on the
Lacking in
field,
accuracy.
I think he did really well to get the shot away, to be honest, given how much pressure he was under at the time.
Raul. Number 17, Eto'o. Number 20, Marquinhos. Number 6, Pedri. Substitution.
Chance here to counter. He's got plenty of space out wide here. And this is Raul. And the shot!
Milan clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Lahm plays it in. Hullet tries to pass it through, and he's running through. Shevchenko! And that's a sharp finish. Do not write them off. Back they come. And that really is so impressive.
Well, from the moment he got involved, he looked as if he'd go all the way. Terrific.
It's turning into quite a gem, this.
Well, at this stage, Peter, it's going to come down to...
Shot, surely! Oh, he's done it! Oh, that has got to be it! This has to be it! Was there ever any doubt?
Yeah, he always had the measure of the keeper, and there was very little doubt as to how this was going to end up.
Milan now on the verge of victory, save for a few potentially hectic final moments.
Well, what an end to the game, Peter. But now comes the overwhelming question: how long is there left, including stoppages?
And the number on the board is 3. And time is up. What a game, what a show. Both sides robustly going about their business, and that has turned it into quite a spectacle. It's the sort of game after which you feel it's a shame anybody... So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable.
Milan against Arsenal.
Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So off we go then. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Well, I think it'll be interesting, Peter, to see what challenge the opposition now bring to Araujo. I really rate him because he can cope with pace, he can cope with dribbling wingers, and he's a very valuable asset. And he's become a real focus in that defence.
No argument from me on that front. It's easy to see how his presence alone... Decent chance! Oh, just lacked a decent finish.
Well, I suppose he was being urged to shoot. Maybe the crowd will stay a little quieter next time.
This is a promising build-up. Conte. Rijkaard. Ronaldinho. Rijkaard. And it's Conte. Quarter of an hour played. Showing good feet. He's picked his way through. Ronaldinho. Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Milan are seeing more of the ball, but still aren't carrying much goal threat. That's a sharp pass. Ronaldinho, the specialist in tearing teams apart. Decisive for Xavi Alonso.
Hazard really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Conte. And he's intervened well there. Decisive. Azar. Adriano. Ronaldinho. Oh, good-looking ball. So still we are where we began. It's 0-0. That's good running with the ball. And it's Rijkaard. And it's Ronaldinho. Just past the 40th minute mark. Lahm delivers. Takes a shot! Goal!
I think this is a very welcome time for a goal, Peter. There was a momentary drop-off into defence, and he was just too good a player to miss that. A special talent has given us all a very special memory.
Not so much sophistication as doggedness and sheer bloody-mindedness.
Such good movement. Some players have that natural ability to be in the right place at the right time. We've just seen the perfect example.
And the referee says that is that for the first half. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs. Milan just ahead then as we reach 45 minutes.
I think on the whole the team linked up very well and has been organised, hence their position. They can afford to be a little braver with the ball, I think, something they'll be told many times, I'm sure, during the interval.
Milan looking solid, if not too much more at half-time. It's 1-0. And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here.
Milan can do themselves a massive favour by grabbing another one here.
Shot a goal! Azar. Oh, easy pickings there. Conte! And he has produced there the crispest of hits.
I think it was one of those, Peter, where he's caught it too well. He's not even looking at the keeper, so he knew where everything was.
Adriano. He's going for goal! And he couldn't quite find the target.
Just couldn't quite control it. Nothing wrong with the height and the contact.
And we have our very first corner. Another corner. Any better luck this time round? Corner number 2 then. Xavi Alonso trying to keep this in. Milan have the chance to go the other way. Now it's Batistuta.
Shoots! And a neat finish! And there's the goal they've been looking for.
Pressure? What pressure? He feels none of it.
Such a well-worked finish. It looked like he was going to be shut down, but he thrives in situations like that.
Milan are now luxuriating in a 2-goal lead.
Well, now's the time you could afford to be more daring, Peter. It may be tempting to sit on this, but I'd say go and grab a third.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Looking for the run. Oh, good read. Decisive. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Lovely pass, but can he get there? There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other.
Goes for the shot!
Oh, it looked like 3-0 for sure.
Oh, he went for it there, knowing full well that it could have all been wrapped up.
So we have movement on both benches. Lampard tries to clear.
He's having a shot! Superb from Conte! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! Such thrill, such noise, and how this matters!
He gave it plenty and some. Thrashed it in.
Well, that was hit with genuine ferocity. You just don't stop those, Peter.
3-0 and things are starting to look awfully cosy. Just 5 minutes remaining now. And it's Lam. Conte.
Great ball, and he's a chance for a shot!
What a cracking save from the keeper. That may turn out to be a pivotal moment.
There will be 5 minutes added time.
Roberto Carlos. No unnecessary risks, and the game is petering out here. Now it's Cruyff.
And the finish! And he should have made it 4.
Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that was a shimmering, sizzling, scintillating game. The key characters glittered throughout and did what they did when required so to do. There could be only one outcome. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
I think we just saw it.
Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So, it's away we go then. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Well, Peter, I've always liked this guy, Jordan Henderson. Someone who has had unrealistic expectations to live up to, but his athleticism, his improved passing, the fact that he's become more adventurous has definitely made him a much better player, and all underpinned by a great desire and real commitment.
Yes, getting the best out of him will count for so much. Van Dijk. And it's Rijkaard. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. And he skips past his man. Conte. Rummenigge.
He's had a shot! Goal! Milan! And Milan have the lead.
Oh, that is a sweet finish, gorgeously controlled and ruthlessly dispatched.
Well, I think he knew all he had to do was get it under control, and it was always going to end up in the back of the net thereafter.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. Looking for the run. Milan currently a goal to the good, and with the lion's share of the ball. And it's
Rummenigge!
It's loose, and there's a race for the ball.
We'll simply have to tip his hat to the keeper here, because that was a magnificent save.
Ronaldinho will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent.
And he could have done himself a massive favour by just lifting his head up there. You know, it would have been a better picture of what was going on around him.
Crosses it in.
There's much frustration as to the lack of a touch to finish that off.
Oh, good take in a good area. It's Eto'o!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
And it's Lahm. Rijkaard is always scanning the pitch for targets. Out towards the flank. That's going across goal. Well, that has not gone well. Eto'o! Now, who's going to be first to this? He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. And the whistler's gone for a reckless challenge there. And he's going to have his name taken. Well, the players are flocking round their fallen colleague, and they look worried. So a chance here, what can they make of it? And this the perfect opportunity to create a cushion between them. He went for the curler.
It was a sterling effort, and at least he kept it on target, and it was worth a go.
Over to the other side.
Good ball, that too.
There will be
Rijkaard.
1 minute added time.
Back where it came from. That's a good ball out wide. That's it, 45 minutes up. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs. Milan up by one goal at the halfway point.
On the evidence of what we've seen, they're worth their lead. There was genuine intensity and purpose behind what they brought to the game. I think they'll want a strong start just after the break, though, to force the issue that bit more.
Milan can look back at a decent first half. 1-0 the score. So we're underway for the second half.
Well, my advice would be to keep at it. If you're doing well, keep it going.
Batistuta knocks it into space. Eto'o, very nicely done. Big chance!
Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed.
Conte, the man synonymous with solidity. Castellanos. Bebeto. Conte. Kilmarnock are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
And it's Conte. Now Saliba. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, while the temptation's always there, Peter.
Oh, he's all alone. Terrific save by Abbiati. And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
David really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
They've played it short. Shoots! Oh, he's given that plenty, but no.
Well, he looks a little annoyed with himself, Peter, but he hit it well enough. Better look next time, maybe.
Jordan Henderson is one of those players who's known for reading the game better than anyone. Showing good feet. And the shot! And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Now, who's going to be first to this? And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. Played back to the goalkeeper, Abbiati, the type of keeper who instills great confidence in his back line. Conte. Now there's a fine ball. Rummenigge! And that really should have been that.
Well, the keeper spared a few blushes here. Going 2 down at this stage would have made it an awful long way back. Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
And that has been cleared.
Milan clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Van Dijk. Cannavaro. Ronaldinho. Saliba. Still just that single goal and we are nearly done. Some front-footed pressing going on here. Milan clearly now in lead preservation mode. Bebeto. Great vision.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
There will be 1 minute
This is
at a
now
time.
creating a nervous atmosphere. The fans simply want the ball at the other end.
That's that, the end. Relief, finally. Now at last they can enjoy the taste of victory. Fingernails bitten to the quick, but they have got over the line. Quite a ride. Rummenigge claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. Your reflections then, Jim?
Well, Peter, I was expecting this game to be put to bed a lot earlier, especially when the opponent struggled to get back into it. They could have shown greater potency.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you.